Okay, welcome back to Divinity Original Sin, Enhanced Edition on Honor Mode. Since last time I did install a few mods that were just cosmetic, installed a graphics mod pack that was pretty popular on Nexus Mods. I installed a walking mod that allows you to run a little bit faster out of combat, speed 5 instead of like 3.7 or something like this. Also installed a Quiet Day at the Market mod, which reduces the NPC chatter. That was the thing that bugged me the most. I installed a mod that shows better icons for rare items. I think that's about it. So just minor stuff, doesn't affect gameplay. Let's explore up here.
You're a source hunter, aren't you? They say you can talk to animals.
Oh, it never ends around here.
You're a source hunter, aren't you?
I can't talk to animals. General store closed indefinitely. There's a furnace. Wheatstone wheel. I wonder if you can see what you're kind of equipped. Probably not. So it does 22 to 32. Lack of requirements. I guess it needs blacksmithing or something.
Baking like a cake.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. Many legionnaires did so before you. Very few have returned.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. Ahu's invention, the stasis blaster. Quite a sight, no? The ray can singe a zombie or skeleton to ash in a matter of seconds. These days, we legionnaires hold a lottery to see who gets to man the things. You can bet it's no small amount easier to blast those flesh-eating monstrosities from a distance than to get within striking range. Don't ask me how the blaster works, though. I just make sure the thing's hitting its target.
Soul Santa's here too. What if the lead?
Warm as dragon's
That's outside the town, so I'm gonna do that later. Ooh, a tooth. Lockpick. That's always useful.
Another piece of trash.
Oops. arrow. Bucket. I think that's it. Okay, we stole everything downstairs. Let's check out what books we got. Ledger. Furthermore, I find it impossible that any but Mayor Cecil, Captain Arius, Elian, or Esmeralda could have been able to gain access to the body without my noticing. A corpse just can't vanish into thin air, and even if it could, it's not though a strong wind could blow a sack of gold into the empty slab. No, one of them must have been involved. But as long as no one goes digging up Jake's coffin, I don't see how the crime could ever be traced back to me.
Looks like the mortician is rather suspicious about Jake.
What could Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, or Evelyn have to do with it?
Corpse Compendium. I like how the books aren't super long, unlike Skyrim. This is just about how to bury. Doesn't look interesting. All right.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Sicil itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless. Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. How do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know? And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary, and there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts, that there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan on making some use of it.
Come on now. Hand over your good man. No. Jeez. Charm of 1.
Killer of the community?
Let's load that. Fly through that dialogue again and try a different option.
So, what's the bad news? This here's my family sad
Oops. Not that fast.
So, what's the bad news? Sad story. I just concern. How do you? Plenty of us. He could have used it to Aureus himself. Can't see why he. I know it sound. It was she. It seemed she could. And this may. I never. It was she who. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan on making some use of it.
No. Bastard. Can't just
Do
choose the
whatever
same
you
one.
like. So, what's the bad news? This I plenty or I know it was seen, and this may I never. It was she who rang my bell just before.
Guess I'll say it right here.
So, what's the bad news? That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan
I'm
on
on
making
even
some
ground
use
now.
of it.
Nice. Flipping back and forth.
You know, I reckon Bertia really didn't get a fair shake in all this, did she? Here, take them.
Thanks, dude. I wonder how much you gave me.
Well, what do you think you're doing?
Old mistress.
He doesn't like me going to that room.
So, what's the bad news? I never imagined myself thanking some strangers for taking my money. But in the end, I reckon you were right. I couldn't well enjoy something with such a dark cloud hanging over it.
It's hard to tell what this chest key is. There's another room, I guess. Yeah, that's right there.
have none of that, you hear?
Yeah, you can't even look in chests.
Hey, stop that.
I wonder what that is. Leader in sight. It's like his vision cone is like right here.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Super edgy.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Yeah, see, these icons are slightly better. Use on that. Nope. Yeah, but I need the stupid chest key, which is somewhere. It was downstairs.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
I missed my window. So I have identifying glass. Object identified. Aqua boots of spirit. Ooh, telekinesis ring. Nice. Crossbow. Plus 200% damage. Critical. Looks pretty good. Alright, made it out.
The sun is out, and yet I feel a cold inside my soul. The bane of age, the crux of years.
Let's see. Personality.
The sun is out, and yet I feel a cold inside my soul. The bane of age, the crux of years. Oh, it goes to and fro the city's youth. They hustle and bustle, while I sit here stagnantly and watch it all go by. Nice it is of you, the very picture of youth, to break the monotony of an elder's day, wild away on this hardwood bench. Pray, let me be forward with you, O sapling rose, O leaf of spring, for my weary mind is troubled, and would highly prize thy gentle-handed assistance, thy kind ministrations. I am but an aged elf that has seen the years parade in long succession. Gladly shall I tell you more. Will I regale thee, O whelp of men, with my tale? But not here, where the winds may steal my words. You would listen to my grievances? Guide me towards untroubled realms. Oh, you are truly a wonder. Oh, budding flower of the morn. Yet, that which I would tell you is of a rather private nature. So let us escape both the chill and the eye of public scrutiny. Hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the King Crab's first floor. Let us go there, so that we can warm our bones, yet make shiver our hearts with a tale of loss and sorrow.
Some pretty good voice acting. Okay, I'll meet up with them later. Locked house. doggo.
Here lies Kimberly, finally. Here lies Jared. Shall I come back as an enraged spirit or a lovable prankster ghost? Here lies Patrick. You can kill me, but you'll never kill the dancer inside me. Here lies Gregory, whose wife told him so. Here lies Judith, warrior princess. Here lies Neil, killed in the line of duty. I want to go home.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Here lies James, as usual, the filthy fibber. Here lies David, who ran from the Reaper. You'll never catch me alive. Here lies Nemris, master of philosophy.
Peace be with you, traveller. May your lost loved ones rest in peace. I once lived a prosperous life with my husband and our happy little daughter, Loni. But when the undead plague broke out, my dear husband was among the first killed. Loni never recovered from the loss. And when a group of mercenaries, predators, more aptly called, came to town dangling the opportunity to annihilate those undead devils, Loni lapped up their rhetoric and joined without so much as a backward glance. She was killed less than a week after she joined. Here she lies, and here I stand, mourning the death of my last joy.
In memory of Loni, death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
I can use a shovel on these graves.
The oldest man in Sicil.
I'm not going to do that quite yet. I don't have a full party yet. Which I should have soon.
The Legion stands at
Gate. Some evil dudes off in the distance.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town.
I wouldn't venture too far.
I used to be a warrior.
Come on now, I pulled her
I
off
got
you
shot
before
in the
you
knee.
do any real damage.
Dusty parchment.
Come on with the dramatics. It's not as bad as all that.
You found the first of my secret sisters, a great victory for the intrepid traveler, a keen explorer you may be. But only an especially exceptional soul will prove worthy of my fantastic treasure. Solve this riddle, you'll be the first of 4 steps closer to the plumbing glimpse of depths. A full moon, a wedding ring, a wide eye. Which digit am I? 0? How exciting. What the heck is this?
You're a source hunter, aren't you? They say
Alright, well, that's good stuff for the episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.